One of the battles after, which was the battle for Tustar in Persia against the Persians, when the Muslims asked Al-Bara in that battle, they all turned to Al-Bara and they said, Al-Bara, they called him Ud'ullah, make dua to Allah. Then he raised his hand and he said, Ya Allah, grant the Muslims victory, and he didn't leave it at that, and grant me martyrdom in this battle. Grant the Muslims victory and grant me martyrdom in this battle. So then after the Persians were besieged, they found a tactic in the fortress in this battle where they would throw over chains of iron at the end of which was hooks. These chains of iron were not normal, in the sense they were heated. They were heated to the extent that they were glowing because of the heat. Just like what they would do with Khabbab radiallahu ta'ala anhu, where they would heat the rods. And what would put out that glow of the rods other than the fat and the flesh and the skin of Khabbab radiallahu anhu, where he actually went to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, about his situation. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what did he do? When he found Khabbab under this pressure and the likes, he reminded him of what the men in the previous nations, some of them went through. He said, Ya Khabbab, indeed a man from the previous nations, there would be a pit dug for him. They would place him in the pit and they would saw his head in half. They would saw him from head to toe, and they would remove the ligaments or the tendons or whatever it was with an iron comb, and he would not budge under that. His iman would not budge under that. So in this case, they would heat these chains, they would throw them over with hooks at the end, and they would try to catch one, two, whatever they could of the believers, almost like baiting them. And on one occasion it was mentioned that his brother Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu was caught by one of these hooks. And when the kuffar were pulling the chain up, Anas radiallahu anhu and those who would be caught would not be able to grab the chains because of how hot they were. How hot they were. When Al-Bara saw his brother, he jumped on the wall, he grabbed the chain with his hand, and the athar, it mentions that his whole hand became severely burnt because of this chain, but he did not let go until he freed his brother, and then shortly after he was martyred in this battle. He was martyred in this battle. Allah Azza wa Jal gave the Muslims victory, and Allah Azza wa Jal granted him his wish.